This is like this. Leave music playing. Background on one account. Okay. Hello, Hateless Gaming here, bringing you another burner video update, or burner guide update. We have today the Centii burner, which is one of the first burner mission videos that I made, and one of the longest running being valid. I have changed the fit a little bit, and so I would like to re-go over the guide and update you guys on that. What we did is we removed cap boosters from the fit and made it a little bit cheaper to operate, which in turn makes it a little bit more ISK efficient. Also, it's a little easier. You don't have to worry about cap boosters. There's less that you can mess up. So a little bit about the Centii burner. It flies a Succubus, and it says it likes to orbit at 15 kilometers, but it ends up orbiting right at 18. And it uses a warp scram, and since it's a Succubus, it gets the Afterburner bonus. So it goes really fast with an Afterburner and scrams you, so you have to chase it down with your own Afterburner and Webify it. So the ship that we use to do this is the Daredevil, and the Daredevil's a fantastic ship for this because in its attributes, it's got a small hybrid turret fall off, which we really don't benefit much from, but the really important one is the 10% Stasis Webifier effectiveness per skill level. This allows us to get some really nasty webs on it and actually catch up to it fairly quickly. And then it's got a roll bonus of 200% bonus to small hybrid turret damage, which means it does 300 base damage, or 300% of the base damage. Makes our two turrets here do 388 DPS preheat. For the fitting, what we've got is we have two light neutron blasters. We have a Federation Navy Stasis Webifier. The reason it's a Fed Navy is because Fed Navy has the 60% base and a 14 kilometer range. Once we overheat that, we'll get the 18 kilometer range, so even if we fail in the beginning, we'll still be able to tackle them down. And then we use a Coreli A-type 1MN Afterburner, and this allows us to go very quickly once it's activated. It looks like once heated, it'll go 2,000 meters a second, which is a lot faster than the Succubus. And then in the last slot, we got a Thukker small cap battery. This allows us to have a completely cap stable fit with a 5% implant. We have a 5% capacitor implant, just one of them. But this allows us to be cap stable, even if you're cap stable for like 5 minutes. That's plenty, or 4.5 minutes or so. This fight's really short. It only takes 30-40 seconds. In the low slots, we have a Centii A-type small armor repper. This is actually necessary to do your reps. You need an A-type. This gives you about 30 HP a second. Go armor repair rate. We got 34.5 HP a second. And we have two magnetic field stabilizers and a A-type EM hardener. You can use down to a B-type or an X-type. It's up to you, but cost is something that people take into account. So a B-type would be cheaper. I just buy whatever's cheapest between B and X, and if I ever have to reship the fit, which is fairly rare. We have a small capacitor control circuit and a small capacitor control circuit, a T2 and a T1. And then we have a small auxiliary nano pump, just to help a little bit with the reps. It gives us the extra rep that we need. That's pretty much it. We load Void, and we orbit at 2 kilometers. For skills required to do this fit, you're going to need in Spaceship Command, you're going to need what would be Mimitar Frigate to at least 4 because of the web bonus. If you have it to 5, you get a 90%, and with 4, you get an 81%. If you have it lower, you're going to need more speed on your Afterburner. But if you have everything to 5, it's a whole lot easier. And then the Galente Frigate isn't as important. It's somewhere in here. I'm not going to dig it out. But the Glante frigate gives you additional fall off, which makes it so you can start shooting a little bit sooner, which in the grand scheme of things doesn't make a big difference. Start shooting once you're under 3 kilometers to start doing damage, and then you overheat for the duration of the fight. It's pretty short. In the navigation tab, you're going to want Afterburner trained to at least 4 to make your Afterburner last long enough. It helps with Capacitor. High-speed maneuvering. No, it's not high-speed maneuvering. It was acceleration control. Helps with the speed boost per level, so getting this to 4 or 5 would be really helpful. And then fuel conservation helps with the capacitor usage on the Afterburner. And then in engineering, you're going to need the fitting skills and thermodynamics. So you're going to need capacitor management and capacitor systems operation to give you the most capacitor. CPU management and power grid management gives you more CPU and power grid. Weapons upgrades and advanced weapon upgrades helps with fitting. And then thermodynamics allows you to overheat better. So we want to use thermodynamics. It reduces the chance of modules taking damage when they're overheating, and that's pretty important, especially since we're overheating so much on this fit. In the armor tab, we're going to need repair systems to 5. This gives us the best repairs for our small armor repper. And then hull upgrades and mechanics help, but you don't need them. It gives you more buffer in case you make a mistake. We're not a shield fit, so we're going to pretty much ignore the shields tab. In the gunnery tree, we're going to want all the gunnery support skills to 4. Not like every skill, but there's 6 of them that you want to get to 4. And then you're going to want T2 guns. So you're going to want the, where's it at? Small blaster specialization at least to 3. 4 helps. Where in electronic systems, you're going to need to be able to use propulsion jamming to run the Webifier. I believe that's what's required for. No, it's not that. It's where is it? I can't remember which one. I swear it's propulsion jamming. And Stasis Webifier capacitor need. Propulsion jamming helps with your capacitor need for your Webifier, and this is what allows you to use the Webifier. And lastly, in armor rigging, this will help reduce the power grid requirements a little bit. As you can see, we're kind of tight on power grid. We have 1.1 power grid. If you get everything else to 5, you're going to have, or everything else to 5 except for armor rigging and advanced weapon upgrades, you'll barely fit this fit. But advanced weapon upgrades helps, which we have it to 5 on this character, but you need it to 4 to fit this fit. Anyways, that's all for the skills. And for the fight, it's actually really easy. Did I fly off the acceleration gate? No, we're still sitting here. So the fight's actually a lot simpler than it looks. What we're going to do is before we go in the acceleration gate, we're going to preheat our Afterburner, our Webifier, our Hardener, and our blasters. The Hardener will remain overheated for the duration of the fight, and then if we feel like we are in trouble, we will overheat the Repper. Overheating the Repper gives us a little bit of extra HP a second, but it shouldn't be needed. But there's times when it's needed if he gets a couple critical shots. So we're just going to go in. We're going to set our default keep at range to 2 kilometers, which is what I use for all the Daredevil fits. It's 2 kilometers. We're just going to make a box, lock them up. We're going to hit F2 and 3, get the Webifier and our Afterburner on, and then we're going to turn on our tank. It looks like we turned on our tank a little late, which I'm going to say I did on purpose. One was actually an accident. Once we're under 13 kilometers and going down, we can turn off the overheat on our Webifier. And once we're under about 6, we can turn off the overheat on our Afterburner. It's important to turn off the heat so you don't burn things out. And once you're under 3, you're going to begin firing at them. And then we can turn off the heat on our Repper because we're kind of in the top half of armor. And then all that's going to happen is we're going to sit right at range with him and we will kill him. It just takes a moment. And then with the overheated guns, we're doing a little over 450 or just under 450 DPS. So he really can't tank it. So you guys didn't really see what happens, but if you fail to engage him right away, he gets 18 kilometers out, and it takes just a little bit longer to catch up to him. But like I said, it's a really short fight if you do it right. And then he's just gonna, once you're through his shields, he has no armor or hull, so he just kind of dies. And that's it for Burner Succubus. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Every like, comment, subscribe, and even dislike helps the video. So if you dislike it, tell me why you disliked it so I can improve in the future. Everybody fly fun and have a great day.